Okay, hi, here I am again. I just wanted to add a few things about The Force Awakens. I just slept on it. I still feel awful. I feel like I spent all this money to watch it. I'm so disappointed. Okay, Carrie Fisher was barely in the movie, and I really liked her. I thought she was going to be good, but in the movie, I just felt she didn't do much at all. And there's something, I didn't feel there was any emotion with her. She just, I don't know, she's had stuff done to her face, Botox or something. I'm not trying to pick on her, but it just felt like she couldn't do much. Maybe she's just old, but not much emotion came through. And if you think about it, people criticize the prequels for characters walking and talking, sitting and talking. She just basically stood and talked. That was all she did. And when Han Solo died, spoiler alert, she just sort of plaintively sort of looked down, and it's got none of the power of when Obi-Wan reacts when whatever that planet is gets destroyed. I completely forget in Star Wars. And on that topic, just okay. So when Han Solo dies, it just has none of the same power. Even when Qui-Gon gets killed, that was more shocking and like affecting. And there's really big music at that point. The way Obi-Wan reacts is scary and logical. It's not something that's anticipated. It's not set up in some obvious way, which I felt Force Awakens did. When Yoda dies, it's much more affecting. When Obi-Wan, when Anakin in Return of the Jedi, when Luke gets his hand cut off and Darth Vader says those things, there's nothing even close to that in this movie. It's all very forced, and again, like I said, Luke is barely in it, and I just think that's a waste. He's a good actor, and that moment felt awkward when he sort of turns, and I don't think he has a line. And to me, that's an epic cop-out. It's just basically a stupid cliffhanger. That's all it is, and I think that's all Lost was. Every episode a cliffhanger. I didn't really watch it, but I got that impression very strongly. I might have seen the first 1 or 2 episodes and seen most of them. And a couple of other episodes and lots of other bits and pieces, and I just hated it. I actually disliked it. I didn't want to see it. When my family was watching it, I hated it. And yeah, I can't believe, I was so disappointed when I first heard J.J. Abrams was directing Star Wars. I thought, no, you gave him Star Trek. I thought he did okay in terms of, sort of looks cool. It's an update. I don't really know Star Trek. I don't really care. But to give him Star Wars, was a bad idea, and it's making me really like the prequels a lot more. And I think the original trilogy again is on this much higher level. Another thing was look at the characters. Okay, I think people think, at least he does real characters. People think prequels have one-dimensional characters, but how much do we know about these characters? There's not really any growth or backstory. I think Rey, maybe there's a bit of change, but to me it's very contrived. It's very convenient. We don't actually know. I didn't think it made it clear. Who is she related to? Where did she get the Force from? And her learning the Force, compared to Luke sort of learning the way in The Empire Strikes Back, and even the little moments with Obi-Wan, use the Force, Luke, that moment is so famous and gives you tingles down the spine, and he sort of turns off the machinery and then just feels it and shoots, and it goes in and he gets it, and then they go away, and that's much more epic than her sort of closing her eyes and having this battle with Kylo Ren, which just became predictable, and it was sort of funny, but then it didn't earn those moments, and we get this stupid sound effect when she uses the Force. It's like camera moving her, and then the stormtrooper says, "Oh, we'll do this." That takes me on to, so I should also say, so the black guy, we don't really know anything about him, Finn, before he became a stormtrooper, or the situation. We don't really know what happened with Harrison Ford and Chewbacca. I'm not saying it has to go heaps into detail, but we don't really know anything. And again, when Harrison Ford spoke to Kylo Ren, there needed to be some more significant dialogue, some breakdown of what happened. How did Kylo Ren turn that way? I think it would have been much more powerful if Harrison Ford had become emotional, or something angry, or sad or really pleading with him and being specific about things, and you know that's a chance to reveal some more twists. A reference to Luke. Luke really should have appeared earlier in the movie. They needed to either find him or he needed to turn up and in some epic, exciting way and play a part, not just some stupid cliffhanger. So yeah, I'm just saying all the characters, no backstory. Another thing, while I remember, the lightsabers, you know, what did we get? We got a blue lightsaber, which I think it's unclear where it came from. Someone pointed out Luke lost it in Empire Strikes Back. I think that's true. You know, his hand was cut off and then like lightsaber fell. So how did they get it? It's not clear. He built a new one for Return of the Jedi, a green one. So, and then yeah, this Kylo Ren's one. It's not clear. Why is it crackly? What does that mean? It's scarier, spooky. I just didn't think that was very creative. And the little things on the side, that's really just a hazard to him. You know, imagine him practicing and go, ah, damn it. Ah, shit, why don't I even have this thing? You know, he sort of pushes it on someone and gets them with that side. And just, that was another thing. Like, he fights Finn and then Rey. At least Rey we sort of believe has the Force. But yeah, Finn, it just wasn't convincing that he would last that long against this Sith. You know, he might not be a master, but I mean, he stopped a laser, made it look effortless. So there was inconsistency with Kylo Ren. He came across as very mature, and then he was just a teenager, sort of, you know, and just a pouty one that, who then sort of was crying with Harrison Ford, seemed to feel something, but we don't know why. We don't know what the backstory is, and then he just kills him, and it's not clear, was he planning to kill him the whole time? Did he suddenly change his mind? Harrison Ford doesn't get to say much, so he gets to get out of it, which is good for him. But you look at the prequels, Darth Maul with the two-sided lightsaber, that was more interesting and exciting for its time, just like something brand new. Again, you don't need new things. In the original trilogy, they just have normal lightsabers. There's blue, green, and red. There's not many. It doesn't need many. Yoda never has one. But yeah, speaking of, like, so episode 2, seeing Yoda use a lightsaber, that was exciting. It had a higher pitch. All of those battles had much more exciting music as well, and much more exciting sort of build up. You know, the camera moves in, you know, Anakin ends up using 2. I don't think we'd seen that before. That's the first time it happens in episode 2. Whether you dislike it or not, for other reasons. And it's exciting when he knocks, sort of the lights go out and you just see this flashing blue and red and stuff. It's exciting in, and when Grievous turns up, that was something new as well. So 2 arms splitting into 4 arms and then 4 lightsabers. Even if not a lot happens, there's not a lot, you know, and there's not that much you can do, but it still works. It's like, whoa, that's cool, and this has got nothing like that. So I know I keep saying it, but actually, yeah, I much prefer the special effects in every single one of the other Star Wars movies to this one. The Force Awakens, I don't think it's exciting. There's any of the other movies I can think of, moment after moment. There's a part in Return of the Jedi when I think Luke jumps on one of those things and zooming along, and you know, he's able to cut off the edge of one of them and it spins, goes into a tree. There's a part where the whole fleet is going towards the Death Star and then they have to pull away. It's a trap, you know, and they haven't deactivated yet. There's some cool stuff with the Ewoks, the way they destroy the machines. I can't think of anything from this one that's the same. All of it is just chaotic. Stormtroopers running and shoot, and you know, forced moments where it's dramatic. And yeah, just awful special effects where it's just, we're just looking at a star getting sucked into this Death Star thing, and somehow that's, yeah, just, I don't know what to say. Awful. Worst movie out of all of the Star Wars movies. I want to leave it there. I know there's other things. I swear I want to talk about what's good about the other ones, but alright, bye for this time.